This is gonna be a tough video. Yeah. Someone needs a haircut. I think it's time. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are discussing how to make a decision when you are afraid to make a decision, how to make a decision when you know the direction that you want to go, but from some reason you feel that there is a gap between what you want and taking action, and quite frankly, you are feeling stuck. I don't know about you, but since the start of the pandemic, I've been questioning my decisions and direction in life more and more. And I was not that kind of person who did that in the past. I was the kind of person who knew exactly what she wanted from the first minute. And not only that I knew what I wanted, but I also immediately saw the plan, the way to get there, you know, even if not all the steps were there, I knew what were the milestones in order to get there, you know what I mean? So I always been a person very sure of myself, and now I'm not really. Actually, I am, but I'm feeling stuck. So there are two kinds of people, I guess. There are a lot of kinds of people, but I think there are those kinds of people who are always been doubtful and always struggling with making decisions, or paid more attention or put more thought in the decision process and taking longer in making a change in their lives. And there is people like me who never gave a second thought. If idea sprang to mind, that idea was put into action the next day. So this video kind of has the purpose to convey the message to the people out there that are feeling stuck, doubtful, and don't really see the way right now, the path in front of them. They don't know which way to go. To say to them that I think there is nothing wrong with them. I think this pandemic made us feel very insecure and fearful of the future. You are not alone in this, you know. For me, it's very important to be surrounded by the idea that I'm not alone in this, and I want to be part of the people who are telling other people that, you know, you are not alone in this. The second reason why I'm filming this is because very recently I've been put in front of a decision-making process that needed really tough decisions and quick decisions, and really this thought process needed the old me back. And this is how I discovered that there is a way to get back from this person who was starting to fear decision-making process to the old me, which had no problem taking risks, taking decisions on the spot and trusting his first instincts. Practically, this is the idea that some people just trust the instinct, the first feeling that you have, and kind of go on that when they are making decisions in life. And I thought that this is a really good method, you know, to implement for the people who are feeling stuck, but also for those people who are always struggling with decision making, or they are more fearful to make a change in their life. So as you know, I am a business owner, I'm an accountant, and I own my own firm here in Romania. And in order to make this accounting business work, I had to move it in the online. And I was not having a problem with that. Even before the pandemic, I was a person who totally get and support the life of working from home. I never was that person who went to the office and understood that kind of life. I always thought that that was a waste of time. And when the pandemic hit, I took the opportunity and moved kind of 90% of my business online. I saw the way, I knew how to do this, and I just did it. I had some doubts about how some of the clients will receive the news, but the pandemic helped. And even those clients who didn't understood the working from home type of environment, kind of got on board with that because, you know, everybody was compelled to work like this. And now it seems that people are not so keen to go back to offices and spend time on the commute and money on clothes, and they finally seem to get the advantages of working from home. So this was like a step one in moving my business online, get the clients on board with this kind of method. But now it's kind of time for step two. We are there. In order to do that, I had to make some tough decisions and end some collaboration with the people that are not fully on board with this decision of working online. And it's very tough to end some collaborations with people that you practically work for, I don't know, a decade, a lot of years. I mean, I knew that I had to make this decision, and I've been thinking about this decision like for years. It's not something rushed, it's not something in the spur of the moment. I've been wanting to make this kind of change for years now, but I was fearful that if I make this change, it's not going to end well. I've been feeling very attached from the people that I work with so many years, and I was not being able to bring myself to do this change. And on top of that, I was not sure that my thought process is what it was before the pandemic. In other words, I was not trusting myself with this decision, even if I was thinking about this decision from years and years. And what I did to get from point A to point B, in spite of the fact that I was so panicked and I was so paralyzed with fear of making this change, was to set things in motion even if I was not ready mentally for this change. So by putting things in motion, in my case, meant starting doing little steps, not really changing things, but changing things, like shopping on the market for new freelancers, reading their contracts, talking with them about the new condition of the collaboration, running some numbers about their fees and what I was being able to pay, and talking with them about their tasks and what they can do and they cannot do, and if they have new and better ideas how to make things more optimized. You know, maybe we are doing things in the old ways and we need also to improve on the methods. So you see what I did there? I put myself in the mindset and surrounded myself with people who are constantly telling me and give me feedback about the way things should be, while actually not changing anything. And doing that and create for myself an environment in which things seem to be already changed but not really, help my brain to process the information. And why I did this and not just waited for my brain to catch up is because I waited for years for my brain to catch up with the idea that I have to make a change, and nothing was happening. And if you are in the same spot of thinking for years or months to make a change and nothing is happening, you have to put yourself in the environment and in the mindset, help your brain to live in an environment where things are already changing, but also give you that comfort that if you are not feeling comfortable to live in that world where things are changed already, you can go back to the things that are in the way that you are used to. I'm talking about creating for yourself like a VR reality to see how it would be if you can cope with this new reality, and to get over your fear. This is the idea, that you have to get over the fear, and once you live that new reality, that new life as you imagine it, and you see that it's doable and possible, you are going to be ready to actually get that fantasy world in your reality. Once you are going to be ready to live just in that fantasy world, you are going to be ready to make the decision here in the real world. So let's apply this to moving to Portugal, right? Or any other country, or maybe any other change that you want to make in your life. Maybe you want to change jobs and you are fearful. I actually applied this when I was making this move, and I didn't know how all is going to end, and if you are going to buy a house, if you are going to rent a house, if we are going to move permanently, if we are going to keep the business here. There were just so many decisions that affected each other, and I didn't have the ability to see the whole plan because there are so many variables interconnected, and I was not able to anticipate all the consequences of me making this move and making that move. And what I did really, I set in motion some things that were preparing that life that I wanted to have, but not really changing anything in my real life. So I reached out to realtors. I started to look at the prices of the houses. I started to look even at jobs, you know. From some time I entertained the possibility of taking a job in Portugal, because at the time I couldn't see how I can keep my business here. I was just thinking that this was not possible. Other things that I did, I applied for a mortgage because I thought that the fact that I had the permission, I had the acceptance of a bank to take a mortgage, I was not obliged to do that, you know. I was not compelled. I was just paying that fee, a couple €100 for the mortgage being approved, and if I just decided not to go through with that, I was just losing a couple €100, dollars. So I did all that, but actually in my life nothing changed. I was living the same life, going to work, having a business in Romania, having a life just here. So I was living like two lives. One life which was imaginary, where I searched for houses and had a broker and had applied for a mortgage, and this real life plan where nothing changed. And when I had all the responses that I could possibly have without affecting my real life here, and being prepared, living for so much time also in that imaginary life, only then I felt more comfortable making a decision. So actually this method was already kind of applied and tested in the past with our move to Portugal, and it works also now in the business side of things, and I am sure that it's going to work for you also. So as a conclusion, start small, put the things in motion that are not affecting your lives, so things that are not fundamentally are changing your life now. I see around me so many people who are putting their life on hold, and I don't know, it's a shame, right? I thought that this pandemic would get more people to understand the value of time, and that your fear stands in a way of a better life. Actually, what this pandemic did was making us fear even more to make bold decision. This is the word, because the decisions are not rushed. I'm not talking about impulse decision. I'm talking about changes that you want to make for so many years, even before the pandemic, or maybe not, but you are sure of the decision. The problem is that you are afraid to make the step. Even if you are making a mistake, it doesn't matter. It's better to make a mistake than just not living your life. It's never going to be the right moment, the right time, and especially now moving forward with all this technology who makes us live life very fast. Life just passes by. It's not like in the old ways when a year seemed like, a year, an entire year. We are 2 years into this pandemic, and for me, feels like it started a few months ago. And I don't really remember what I did in these 2 years. It seems like a never-ending stream of sitting on my couch, watching Netflix, and kind of this is it. So 2 years of my life, not wasted, but just gone in a blink of an eye, and this is how it's going to be from now on. This is how it is from some time now, but moving forward, the time is going to pass even quicker. So we have to make the most of it, and if we are making a mistake, it's just a mistake. We have to believe that we are ready and capable to bounce back. And in the grand scheme of things, you know, when you are going to look back, that mistake that you think now that it's so important not to make, it's not going to weigh that much. It's not going to be that important as you make it sound in the total grand scheme of your life. So if you could see yourself, you could detach yourself from your life and see your life from above, you would be able to understand that this mistake, it's not that important. You can make that mistake. It's not going to change much. I guess there are a lot of videos out there made by a lot of other people who are better equipped to explain this to you better, but this is how I feel. And even if it's just a rant video, this is how you say it, even if this is just a rant video, maybe it's going to help someone. Another thing that helped me very much with my move to Portugal was when I had so many ideas and I didn't know, you know, how a decision will affect another, and if I make this decision, number one, this will open 3 avenues, and what I am going to choose, number 2, and this has other 5, and this really helps if you put it on paper, not on the computer, but on paper. Just get a pen and a piece of paper and draw your decision. Make like a map of your possible decision and possible outcome. And I actually did that, and having all laid out, it's going to really help you, because in time you are going to cross some decision that you are going to instantly realize that this is not the way for you, but you are not going to be able to do that in your head. You know, when in your head you can do 2 plus 2, you know, everybody knows it's 4, but not many people can do 2 plus 2 divided by 4, subtract this number, and you know, so on and so forth. So you cannot make complicated calculus in your head. Some people can, but the average, most of us can't. So this is really helps if you have a picture in your mind, and you can go back to that process that you are going to draw as a map day and day and day after, and you are going to add or cross over that thought process. And if you are sharing your life with someone, to actually put a roadmap of your brain on paper, it's going to really help the other person understand what is your goal, what you want to obtain from this, because sometimes you have an idea in your head, but you are not capable to transmit with words. And if that person also makes the same, you can, you know, see where there are the differences, and you can work on those differences. I don't know if this seems to you like some crazy ideas, but you know, when you are stuck, everything goes. The important thing is to get the job done and unstuck and do something to minimize the waste of time and get you closer to the life that you want to live. You know, live your best life, do the best that you can do with the resources that you have. And if you want to see more videos about us moving to Portugal, what we've been through, how we bought our house, just check these videos here, and I will see you in my next one.